All right, so here we are, Bluesman Vintage Guitars again. We're giving a pedal demo to our guy Dave Austin here. He's one of our artists. He's also one of our instructors. Super cool guy. He has awesome slash hair, like rock and roll hair. He's gonna be a superstar because he has hair for it. This hair is the sign of mental illness. But we're going to talk about some of our pedals that we have. I want to give Dave the rundown before we actually film our true demos, so you're going to see both of those. The first one we're going to talk about, since the camera is on a tripod and I'm not, is the Liger. The Liger is unlike anything you've ever played before. It's not a Klon, it's not a Screamer, it's not a Mustard Plus or a Distortion Plus. It's not anything you've ever seen before. It's actually got 3 preamp circuits in this thing that cascade into each other. So with that being said, what it does is it makes it really touch sensitive, because each preamp boosts the signal going into the next preamp, which gets boosted into the third preamp, which gets boosted on the output. So it makes the dynamic response is really enhanced in this pedal. Cool. So like play a little bit with just your clean tone. And so when you approach this thing, you don't want to approach it like you would a Tube Screamer or an overdrive, because it's going to get really fuzzy and really out of control quickly. So what I try to start to do, I set it to where, usually for me the magic number of this thing is like, what is it, 9 o'clock? Basically everything at 3 or at 9 o'clock. So and I try to set it to where, like play a little bit.
The volume doesn't change, kind of.
Yeah, you don't want kind of like you would an old Tube Screamer, or I mean an old Fuzz Face, where you set on and off is but you set it like at the verge of breakup, and then just a little more.
Right.
So what I do that way, when you pick lightly, it's nice and clean and it sparkles. It's still got a little bit of gritty edge to it, like a cranked out Tweed amp would have. Yeah. But then when you dig in. So it's great. Yeah. It's great for like Texas bluesy kind of stuff, because it's the whole, you can get down quiet and then when you dig and when you build, you don't have to change anything. It's all at your fingertips. Yeah. Because of the way this thing works. That makes it. That's really cool. And then you can get nasty with it. Like, just play a little bit. I'm going to play around with some settings. I'll mock those settings on this one so you guys can see what we're doing. But just play around with it and we'll basically set right there like that. That's kind of, and each pedal, each amp's going to respond a little differently. So you're kind of dialing it in like a preamp. Right. But you, like I said, you can get nice and quiet and sparkly, and then when you hit chords or you hit big bends, it breaks. It responds like a tube amp does, which is really cool. So it's a different pedal than most people are used to. So a lot of times guys buy this thing, or they come out and play it, and then you start seeing them dial it in like a regular Tube Screamer, set everything at 12 o'clock, and they're like, and then they never say anything. They just kind of click off and they go on to the next one, and I go, wait, stop. Let me show you, because it's such a different pedal. So all right, let's move on. We'll go to the the Liger, you know, from Bluesman Vintage, is pretty much our favorite animal. If you don't get these jokes, we can't be friends. Now we're going to try your licks on the love pump. All right. The love pump is your typical seasick green overdrive. Everybody's seen it. Everybody's played it. Mm-hmm. This is ours. It's made by that other company called Ibanez. Ibanez, I think it's Ibanez. Yeah. Ibanez. Yeah. They made a pedal very similar to this. This is a derivative of that circuit. Everybody has one, so don't sue me. You gotta sue everybody. But our version we've got a single diode clipping, dual diode clipping, mid-range hump that the originals have, fat boost that the originals don't have, and gets rid of the mid-range hump. So we're gonna go through some settings and I'll kind of play. So right now we're setting everything's pretty much 12 o'clock, straight up and down. Light overdrive, and really pronounced mid-range hump.
I really dig that. That's
cool. That's real cool. Then keeping that switch, the bottom switch where it is, we're going to flip to the dual mode clipping. Now with dual mode clipping, you got to run a little bit hotter, so. Yeah. But it smooths out. It gets a little bit more Eric Johnson-y, a little more creamy, a little more even harmonics.
It's still soup. You can still. Nothing's lost in it though.
No. Think like Gary Moore or Eric Johnson's a good one. Always smooth, singing sustains, really good for that. Now we can from that mode, we're just going to kick on the fat boost. So play a little bit. Feel that bottom end feedback.
Yeah, you really do feel the lift. That's
cool. It's a substantial amount of bottom end, but not like overhyped. It's just you really, there's the lows. Now, my favorite setting is the asymmetrical clipping or the one clipping diode with the fat boost. So play a little bit. You'll roll the volume back a little bit if you're trying to match volumes like we're trying to do for the camera here. So, the asymmetrical has got a little bit more drive to it than the symmetrical. But in the single clipping or the asymmetrical clipping, fat boost, that's the big, overdriven tube amp that still has some clarity, no mid-range hump. So play a little bit with that.
Even with that maxed out, it's still super clear though. Nothing's lost.
Moving on to the Farva. So the Farva is our fuzz, and let me go on record right now and saying I can't stand fuzz pedals. I hate fuzzes. The paper bag full of pissed off bumblebees does not have any place in my repertoire. There are guys that can play a fuzz face and things and make it sound fantastic. So don't get me wrong. It has its place. It ain't for me. But so when we started to do a fuzz pedal, and we were working with Ashley, our pedal designer, I told him, dude, don't even make me a geranium fuzz. I know, germanium, I know. I don't want it. I don't want it in the line. I don't want to put my name on it. I don't like the pedals. So, this is what we came up with. I can't even tell you what's in the thing because Ashley designed it. We'll have to bring him on one day and talk about it. I know it's a silicon.
It's a hybrid.
Silicon hybrid, yeah.
With germanium.
With germanium in it, but it's definitely, it's not a fuzz face, it's an about face. It's very different from what you've heard as a fuzz pedal. Right. So, play your little bit of your clean tone real quick. Arsenal likes the number 3. Because 3 is the magic number, Dave.
3?
3 is the magic number.
I thought 13 was the magic number.
No, 13 is the unlucky number.
I was born on Friday the 13th.
Really?
I'm gonna let your jokes just kind of marinate then, right there. You just.
I'm gonna work on an Arsenal. Okay, in fair trade, I was due on April the 1st, April Fool's Day.
You were due on it?
I was due on April 1st. I didn't show up till tax day, April 15th. So, April Fools! There you go. Alright, so, back to the Farva Fuzz. The Farva Fuzz, like I said, it's not the fuzz that you're used to hearing. Because the old fuzz pedals, in my experience, and I'm sure I'll get a million comments and letters and death threats saying that I'm an idiot. The old fuzz face and the old types, Rangemasters and different fuzzes and things that were out there. They kind of had the, like I said, the paper bag full of pissed off bees thing, but they really were dependent upon the amp, and they had to interact with the amp, and they had to interact with the player and their touch sensitivity things,
right?
Which I don't have, and so I never could make them sound good. So what I wanted was that big cranked out like Black Sabbath-y kind of fuzz, or that big Jimmy Page kind of fuzzy sound, but not. But I wanted the big bottom and all the stuff that came along with playing the Marshall Plexis and things that went with it. So when we did this hybrid, it turned out really nice. So like, it definitely nails that.
Sounds cool, or like pick up, and like you just let it ring.
Right.
Because I mean, when I've had fuzz pedals in the past too, they kind of get mushy
as they decay. They break up, or they either get mushy and or they do that weird like Neil Young decay where you think something's wrong with the pedal.
Right. Well,
and I didn't like it because I couldn't, in the music that I've always played, I couldn't find any use for that.
Right.
So this is, like I said, you can get the big fuzz. Even when I was cranking it out like this, 3 o'clock, turning it up to 11, it never got mushy. It never lost the focus of its tone. It never got incoherent, and that's one thing that I always hated about a lot of fuzz pedals and a lot of higher gain drive pedals. Right. You lose the fundamental of the notes.
Well, you can still hear the guitar.
I didn't want to lose that note fundamental, that attack and the clarity of each note. I don't want it to get mushy, and so that's what the Farva does. It's all highway. We're totally gonna get sued by some like film company.
But dude, that's not even Farva. That's the other guy.
That actually looks more like Sergeant Slaughter.
The guy.
You mean Sergeant's Laughter?
Not Sergeant's Laughter. Sergeant Slaughter from G.I. Joe.
Try not to get sued.
Remember that?
Like, no, I never saw I remember Smart Soldiers.
Who? Oh, gosh. You're showing your age. He's making us look old, Mike. Do you know what it means when I say knowing is half the battle?
My dad said that to me.
Oh, my God.
I'm not even that much older than you, am I? How old are you, Dave?
I'm 27.
Yeah, well.
Sergeant Slaughter
10
was
years, I guess,
Jesse the Body Ventura, on the show, who later went on to be a senator.
Oh, yeah.
Milwaukee.
He was Sergeant Slaughter. Yeah, he originally was a wrestler.
Oh.
And they made originally it was a G.I. Joe, and he did a wrestling gimmick.
He did a wrestling gimmick, and he hosted later episodes of the G.I. Joe show. He'd come in.
G.I. Joe cartoon.
Oh. Then he got into politics.
And at the end of every G.I. Joe cartoon, there would always be like a little public service. And I was like, don't plug keys into the wall sockets, kids, because that'll get you hurt. And now you know, and knowing is half the battle. That's the whole.
Oh. Yeah, I never knew that.
Yeah, well, there you go. Gosh. Intelligent humor is always a gamble. All right, so moving forward from the 70s fuzzy thing into the 80s with Stonehenge, which I don't have one of those to Vanna White model for you because we are sold out except for this one. So if you want one, call me up. We've got several in process being built, but we're gonna have to build them because we're selling them quicker than we can get them built, which is a good problem to have. By the way, all of our pedals, these here, you keep hearing the click, click, clicks. These are all prototypes. We don't use the click switches anymore. Everything we do now has silent switch. The silent switch with the relay, so you don't get the click. You get much longer switch life. The switches don't die. You don't get that pop when the circuit comes in and out. You hear the circuit turn on.
I hate that pop, dude. Well, when they pop, the first thing I do when I set up at a gig is like pop all my pedals.
You gotta go through pop all your switches.
I hate that.
If they be able to charge. This
crazy.
does not do that. The silent switch doesn't do that because it is true bypass, but it is set up on a true bypass relay. So all this does is triggers the relay.
Nice.
So
Okay.
it's a much better way to do it. And like I said, these switches don't tear up. We have yet to have one of these fail. Yeah. So all right. So let's play some 80s rock riffs. So the Stonehenge has got gain and volume, and I couldn't remember which was which. That's why you see me getting so close because I'm so blind. I have to get close to read. You've got gain and volume, and you've got a 3-band EQ, so you can tweak your amp or your guitar, tweak the tone for whatever rig you're playing. So if you're playing something that's got a really heavy bottom end, like fatter humbuckers, then you can dial some of the lows out or add it if that's what you want. If you want to do the bone crushing thing, you can do that. You can really scoop and boost mids. The mid control is really intuitive on here, and then the high control can help you tweak it to any of your amps. But we're gonna start out with some low gain, and then we'll move into some higher gain stuff. Dare we do like a Pantera riff with this?
Yo, this is out of a telly, dude. Like that. Yeah, dude, that's fun.
So it does the 80s rock thing, it does into like 90s metal thing, It's not really. It doesn't really do the gent thing, but you know, I don't know. We haven't put a baritone on it yet. I mean, so it's possible. It could.
I mean, it's still coming from a telly, dude.
It's coming from a telly. Well, actually,
telly
that's a coupe.
style. Yeah,
it's a coupe. We can. Telecaster is owned by Fender Musical Instruments. All right. It's our coupe model, but it's also playing through our 20 watt, which is off camera here. It's a 20 watt blackface style amp. It's called our small block. It's a really nice small pedal platform. It's 20 watts. It's super clean. Here, play the amp. Available now. Very coming soon. We've got some new models, but yeah, check these out. Get yours now. Like I said, they sell quick, so call, get them if they're in stock. If not, we'll put you on the list. We'll get it to you ASAP. But the Liger, the Love Pump, the Farva Fuzz, the Stonehenge at bluesmanvintage.com.